Dungeons & Drimbus is rated R for rude language, rough violence, and raunchy humor.
I do declare, here's what happened previously on Dungeons & Drimbus. After spending a restful night at Hot Apothecary, the gang regroups and prepares for a more somber occasion. They attend the funeral of Twig's Scattle. Kit says a few words, and Jessica sings a song before the party lay Twigs to rest. Their dearly departed friend taken care of, Kit vows vengeance on the LLC, and the attorneys prepare to continue their work in Opula. I do declare, Your Honor is back in session.
Right, so back to this question. How do we plan on getting to Opula?
I think we are going to need to get a taxi. There's no question about it. It's just, which taxi company is the fastest for the best priced fare? Do we have an exact, building we want to go to? Or...
We definitely have to go to Thomas's apartment.
Yes, my apartment.
So, do we want to get a fare dropped directly at his apartment, or at, the edge of the city to try to save some coin?
I guess depending on how
Personally,
much it is.
I would rather pass that bridge undetected by the folk who man it, as I have made a number of promises to them that I have not kept.
Right, but we have Jessica with us. They love her.
You mean you have Victoria with you?
Right. Either way, we might be able to get across that bridge fine.
Look, if we can get close enough, I can get us in Opula.
Oh. I mean, there are ways that only those who want to be seen in the carriage can be seen when we pass through.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all, if we just get a taxi, I can just duck and we'll be fine.
All right, then.
I will say, last night during our lovely little rest, I did a little bit of studying with my books that I had checked out from the library the other day. And I was reading up on a odd bit of magic. It's called a teleportation circle.
Huh.
And as I was reading up on it and things, so there's these runic circles places that can be used if you cast a spell to teleport to those locations, if you know the runic pattern that you're seeking to teleport to.
The courthouse has those, right?
That is correct. Yes.
So you can teleport from courthouse to courthouse?
Essentially, yeah. I didn't know about this a while back, which, if you know the pattern. I don't know the Opula pattern, unfortunately.
Alright, price check.
Why did we check the price for the taxi?
Let's do it.
Someone roll a history check.
Yeah, would I have a memory?
Yeah, I'll give you advantage because it's a local taxi that you've probably taken a
Oh,
couple of
thank
times.
goodness for that advantage.
Can I find a point to talk to Tiro privately?
Why don't you do this now while they're all arguing about taxis?
Okay.
Looking up the yellow pages.
Teronicus.
Yeah.
Speaking of this whole reclaimer talk, are you aware of anything having to do with Viper maybe potentially not being a reclaimer?
I mean, Viper is not a reclaimer.
Okay, so you're aware of it too. Okay, this was new information to me, I think. So I was it's nothing new. We're good. Okay, great.
I thought you would assume.
Jessica overhears this last part. She turns and she goes, "What do you mean you didn't know she was a reclaimer?"
Get out of here, Jessica.
No,
You're
I'm not
pest,
going anywhere,
a pest,
young man.
A roach, Jessica.
I am
leave.
not going anywhere. Because,
Goodbye.
excuse
This
me.
is my friend
That's
Tiro.
a 13
No.
history check. Viper was kind of off to the side as they were having that conversation, just staring off into space, trying to think back to the last time she took a taxi here. That's a 13.
It's probably somewhere in the 10 to 20 gold range, considering you have to pay the toll to come in. But the taxis get a fixed rate, so you don't have to pay 3 per passenger.
Okay.
Richard butts in and he goes, "Nephew, you You are aware she works on the moon base, right?
Right. Yes, I knew that.
So she's not
Whatever.
a reclaimer. She's one of those silly LEP
Stop.
agents.
This was between me and Tiro. Everyone go away.
Monique goes, wait, did you think the LEP guys were reclaimers?
No. I
think, listen, I talked to Viper very briefly. I think she used to be a reclaimer.
Okay. All right.
You know, we could also just talk to our friend directly.
All right, so if I remember correctly, it can be anywhere from 10 to 20 gold pieces because we'll have to pay the toll or whatever, yeesh. But it's a fixed rate, so it shouldn't be anything ridiculous. And if we all scrounge together, that could be what? Like, you know, if I can do my math correctly, that's like 5, and then Rich and Monique, that's 7, so it's what, like 3? A little less than 3 gold pieces each? I think we can do that, right?
Well, Jessica has no money, so
Right.
not going to be helpful in this situation.
If we could avoid the toll, I think we're fine. I have
Well,
18
we could,
gold pieces.
when we're signing up, we could, on the little notepad they give us, click avoid, we could check avoid tolls, please.
What notepad? You just put your thumb out on the street and get into a cab. Y'all are complicating this so much.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just
Well,
the
we can
taxis
ask
around here.
once we get in the cab, we could be like, "Hey, can you please avoid all tolls?" You know, can
Yeah.
we do that? Is that something?
Well, they
we
won't
do?
be able to take us into Opula. There's a mandatory toll to cross the bridge.
Well, it depends. Aren't there like aren't there two taxi drivers in Brookhaven, Mr. Goggle and Mr. Opel? And I think Goggle has the option to avoid tolls, but I've never used Opel maps, so I don't know.
Can I make a history check to see if I have used Guggle before?
Both of them have. I can tell you based on experience. Both of them have the option to not go to tolls. All right.
And I want to know if I'm friends with Mr.
the
Guggle.
sky opens up and you see a human face come out and go,
There are 2 bridges into Opula, and both of them have trolls.
and then the skies close up again.
I hear you, God. I'm with you.
I've been there before. The guys guarding the tolls aren't that bright. Can't we just charm them?
Yeah,
and
that's
get
what
them
I'm
started?
saying,
All right,
Tiro.
I would
Yes.
like to make. I would like to make a history check to see if I'm friends with Mr. Guggle or with one of the bridge guards.
Let's cross this bridge when we get to. Oh my Jesus word!
Bob is gonna hold a finger out, hold a thumb up, and just be like, "God willing."
Thomas is throwing a temper tantrum.
You hold up a finger after like 3 hours of debating the merits of the taxi. You know what? Canonically, it is now the dawn of the 12th of winter. You have spent all night arguing about taxis.
God.
I'm walking.
But
Goodbye.
wasn't it the morning for the funeral?
It was late afternoon as the funeral was finishing, and y'all have been talking for like 6 hours. As you hold the thumb out, and immediately like 4 cabs pull up.
Amazing.
They're
All right.
competing for your business. One of them starts singing.
How many seats in a cab?
All right, bye, Jessica. Everyone, get
Maybe
in.
one of them is a Mr. Uber XL.
There's a guy with a French mustache that with a large stretch carriage.
Uber.
And he says, please step into my Uber XL.
Mr. Hubert, can we avoid tolls, please?
Where to?
To Opula?
None!
I just thought I'd ask. Mustache, I need you to step on it.
516 Opal Way, please.
Right, okay, that is going to be 17 gold pieces.
And Jessica leans out the window, turns to the other cabbies and goes, "Who can beat 17 gold pieces as the fare? Who wants the business?"
You see one guy on a bicycle drawing a wooden cart. He says, I can, me.
How much?
It's just a little wooden wagon, like no ceiling, no nothing.
Jess, we can splurge. It's okay.
How much?
I make eye contact with the driver and I say, why do we make it 15? And I'd like to use persuasion.
Okay, I'm gonna give you disadvantage on this one.
This is a 10.
2 plus 12 is 14.
Says, why don't you make it 5 as he casts suggestions?
Does a 16 beat?
No, it does not.
Teronicus, if you could do that, just make it free. Why are we paying?
Hon. 5 gold will be sufficient.
Perfect!
Thomas is going to get out of the cab and go ride with the bike guy.
Thomas says 5 gold pieces. Let's go.
Just make it free.
Viper hands him 5 gold pieces.
Thank you.
Please drive. Please drive
Thank you,
so
sir.
fast.
He whips the horses. He doesn't even wait for you all to get on. Like,
Thank you.
Jessica, you almost fall out of the cab as it takes off. Your one foot is still on the ground.
I mean, it's canon at this point that Thomas is not in the cab. He has said he got out and went to the wooden cart, so we've left him behind.
He says, all right, I can do it for 7.
Fine, here you go.
Okay, Thomas, roll a dexterity check, and Tiro, roll a dexterity check.
17.
19.
Damn, Thomas, your little bike boy is pedaling as fast as he can, but he can't quite edge out the cart as the dude is just whipping the horses. They're thundering down the streets. You see pedestrians dodging out of the way, and this cart is doing his best to
Dude, this
keep
poor
up.
little bike man probably just needed some extra money, and he's making the bike ride all the way to Opula for 7 gold pieces.
And back.
Thomas, since you are out in the open air, please roll a perception check for me.
Oh, good lord.
Oh. A 14.
You notice, still in Brookhaven, kind of behind you, you notice a ton of smoke rising up into the sky as you hear, like, very distant, like... and just crowds of panic sounding in the distance.
Wait, stop the bike. Stop the bike.
That's not my business.
He hits the brakes on the bike, but because it's not like a real carriage, it's just a wagon attached to a bike, the wagon still has momentum, hits the bike, bends the rim, and sends the dude flying face first into the dirt.
Oh god. Are you okay? Are you okay? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Is anybody looking back to see this?
Nope.
Everyone roll a perception check within the cab with disadvantage because knowing you guys are still arguing about cab prices.
Bob is taking a nap. Like
My roll is a 4.
13.
11.
Even with disadvantage, I got 18.
Barb and Viper, you don't notice the smoke and the screams, but you do hear the crash of the bicycle right next to you out the window. You see the little kid go flying like past your window into the dirt.
Oh,
he's a
shit.
kid. Oh,
You hear
no.
Thomas asking if he's okay, and then Teronicus, you notice this, and you also smell the smoke. Look out and kind of hear the screams.
Sir, stop the cab really quick, please. Sorry.
And he pulls back on the reins and the horses.
Bob gets out of the carriage and goes to help the kid up and check on him.
Can I perceive what's going on behind me?
Yeah, roll a investigation check.
That is a natural 20 plus 4 is a 24.
Wow, Thomas, okay, you seem to remember the streets of Brookhaven really well, and you gather that the area the smoke is coming from is likely the courthouse.
Oh god. I'm gonna run.
No, wait.
Shit.
Sorry. The courthouse you wanted us to go to? The courthouse you wanted us to go to originally is on fire?
Who are you talking to?
You, God, you. I'm talking to you. Don't be nasty with me, God.
Okay, I'm gonna start running towards the courthouse.
Son of a...
Thomas, where are you
Wait,
going?
Thomas, get in the carriage.
Yeah, like the moment before it dawns on you that it's probably coming from the courthouse, you feel that very familiar heartburn that you often feel. And you take 3 points of damage.
Thomas, get in the carriage. It'll be faster. And get the little boy, too.
Oh!
It's all right.
We
Barbara-
didn't make it very far.
Barbara,
It's
can you
just a
help
hop,
us?
skip, and a jump.
Yes. Bob is literally just gonna throw this kid over her shoulder. Let's go.
We're probably still in town,
My little
bro.
brothers need to eat!
Okay,
No,
here. And I'll give him 10 gold pieces. Here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, thank you!
All right, let me jump on one of the horses and start riding back.
All right, I say, sir, please, take us to the courthouse. And I throw 3 more gold pieces at
So
him.
Thomas hopped on one of the horses, but because it's still strapped to the apparatus, he thinks he's riding away, but he is really just leading the entire carriage. That's what's happening.
Thomas, you accidentally get whipped as he goes, ho ho! And you feel the whip along your spine, but you do, I guess for some reason, your leadership atop the horses motivates them to pull extra fast.
Great.
It's like, wait, why are we turning around? What's going on here, y'all?
Screaming, smoke, courthouse.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that. And Jessica kind of peers out the window and goes, oh, wow, look at that.
My question is, when did we become heroes? Why are we going back here?
That would also be my question, especially
Reminder,
considering
my
what
parents-
the boys were telling
my
us.
family lives
Well,
here.
Yes, dear, of course. There's that part of it. That's
Your family doesn't live at the
definitely-
courthouse,
No,
though.
but they live in Brookhaven.
Wow, so heartless, Jessica.
No, I was just gonna say, the last time you guys came across a town that was in terror and being set on fire, you guys didn't exactly go into town to help, from what I could recall.
Yes, we did.
No,
we absolutely did.
and then we ran into a creature of death and destruction.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that creature might be here.
And we saved 2 people, too.
And as you're having this argument, Thomas, I guess you're shouting back into the cab. Actually, you are fully leading the horses at this point, and the Uber driver is going, ho ho, trying to take control of the horses, but they're not listening to him.
This is absolute chaos.
We just had to have a big party. Just had to have a
And
big
you
party.
pull up to the court of Brookhaven. When you arrive, there is mayhem. People are running. They cannot spill out of the courthouse fast enough. And there is smoke. You can definitely see flames from within the courthouse, smoke emanating from the interior, and it is obscuring your view. Thomas, you squint your eyes, or you do the internal
Sockets.
idea of squinting your eyes. The Uber driver goes, "Hey, what's the hell?" And a moment later, you see a large, dark silhouette appear in the smoke. A young centaur is running from the courthouse as they let out a yelp and seem to drop dead on the steps of the courthouse. The silhouette grows larger as finally one of the abominations emerges.
One.
For initiative.
One of.
You see?
One of.
Didn't want to go to the courthouse. Here's why I didn't want to go. Look at him. Look at his smug face. Look at him.
no.
He knew from the beginning. I was like, he wants us to go to the courthouse. I want to go to the courthouse.
I don't like the phrase "one of."
That's fair.
We're halfway there.
Wah!
This is the halftime ad.
It's a me, Bikini. Nicky B is with his dead imaginary canonical pet hamster Scruffles. Well, now it's a time for Bikini. Nicky B always like his advertisement. Well, Bikini make a bad advertisement. Today's episode is not brought to you by Dungeons and Drimbus, and very much not brought to you by Dungeons and Drimbus Patreon. Why would anybody want to join a fun and a positive community of fellow TTRPG fans, gain access to hundreds of hours of exclusive and hilarious bonus content, craft their very own item into a mainline Drimbus story, get occasional pieces of a surprise merch sent to them, or play a one-shot game with the members of Dungeons and Drimbus? Bleh. Drimbus is so thankful and humbled by the support of these stinky fans. Queso Loco, Cherry Benetatos, Victoria Madrid, Greta and Beignet, Alex Gapes My Ass, Ace Andrews, Regina Russell, Salty, Sam Olivos, Jordan Cobb, The Unnamed Rogue, John Gillette, MB Star, Doubtful Guest, Michael Richters, Davis Walden, Danny Dewdrop, Myth Mouse, Callie Wolf, Brandon N. Bishop, Bridge, Twiglets, Joanna, O.S. Burger, Stan Sitzman, Scrambles the Death Dealer, Erin Adams, Nathan Mesner, Ruth Thanatos, Morgan Lawson, Stoner Panda, Melissa Rain,
Sensational.
Bots Aplenty, The Lone Trumpeter, Normally Me, Dane Kohlhoff, Loon, The State of Alaska, Faust, the Heavenly Demonic Monster, Marshall Coffee, Official Anarchy, and David Carlton.
Is that really? It's just David Carlton.
Bleh. No thank you to these special patrons. Oh, I bet the Dreamers really loves you and is so thankful. Bleh. Get back into the show.
Bob is getting out of the cab.
Why don't you get out? Let's turn around and leave. You don't have to fight that thing.
We can't just leave it here either, though. Look, it's burnt down the damn courthouse.
We couldn't beat it last time.
I would say stay in the cab before we go for initiative, and then we could ride
Stay
this
in the
thing
cab.
to Viper's house and get the fuck out of
Roll
here.
for initiative, but you are more than welcome to stay in the cab. Also, Thomas, it has been established that you are atop the horses, and the horses seem to be listening to you more than the cabbie, so...
Okay. I got a 1.
That's a big yike.
Amanda got a 13.
Hannah got a 17.
Jessica has a 7.
TJ has a 7.
Viper, you're up first.
Okay, I will use my bonus action of this turn, steady aim, to give myself advantage on my attack.
Okay.
I will get out of the carriage, but use the least amount of walking as possible, and then I will throw one of my daggers.
Roll that for me.
22.
That hits.
Great. So since I had advantage on the attack roll, then I get to add my sneak attack bonus. 25 piercing, and then I need a Constitution saving throw.
Wow. He rolls a nat failure on the Constitution saving throw.
Nice.
Okay, so you toss the dagger, you see it lodge itself with incredible aim. It goes, and it lodges itself in the Abomination's neck, and it definitely takes damage, but it like barely flinches
'Kay.
as it continues to emerge from the smoke.
Failing its Constitution saving throw miserably, it takes 11 points of poison damage.
Okay, the poison damage definitely seeps in, and you see, although it is this black, plastically creature, you see it almost turn like a dark green as you see some of the poison spread in. It looks undeterred, however, it does look damaged.
Okay, that's my turn.
Barbara, it is your turn.
I believe I picked up a crossbow from one of the attackers at Hot Apothecary.
You did.
Okay, I would like to use that now.
Go for it.
21.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Bet your ass. And I would like to be attacking twice.
So go ahead and roll that second attack for me.
24.
Yep, that's gonna hit.
Okay, 16 total damage.
You load up 2 bolts back to back. And you see them both lodge into his right pec. This dude is starting to look like a pincushion as he has 2 bolts and a dagger sticking out of him. However, with that 16 damage, as it hits him, you get the feeling it doesn't do as much damage as you feel it should.
It has resistance.
Barbara, hand that to me really quick.
Sure. And Bob will pass it to Viper.
Okay. At this point, Monique goes, Guys, what should we do? What should we do? And suddenly you hear a... on the roof of the carriage.
Oh, great.
You see first some little piece of metal fly through the air and slice at the cheek of the Abomination. Next, you hear this rattling can. You see it appear at the feet of the Abomination, and the smoke with that noxious gas from earlier in the apothecary emanates out around the Abomination. And jumping down from the ceiling of the carriage, you see Bearman as he shouts out, "The courthouse has fallen. Everyone run." And you see the citizens begin to run away as he charges into the smoke towards the Abomination, obscured from view. The cabbie is up next, and the cabbie is gonna try and take control of the horses back from you, Thomas.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna say that is a sufficient animal handling check as he whips the reins and the carriage begins to move away.
We could leave if you guys want to leave. I guess we can stay in the carriage.
Now I feel bad because this Abomination is here, and now Viper's...
Oh,
it'll destroy
now
us.
you guys feel bad.
Unless, can the
Now
bear
you
handle
guys
it?
feel bad. Earlier I was like, I'm trying to get out, but everyone's like, no, stay in the carriage. We don't have to help.
I thought it was just on fire.
Yeah.
Now there's just Abomination. It's like...
Next up is the Abomination, however, you cannot see him from within the cloud of fuming, noxious gases, and suddenly you see the Bearman flung up into the air and smash against the ceiling of the courthouse, and then falls back into the noxious fumes as you hear the sound of blows being traded within the fumes. Teronicus, it is your turn.
I'm gonna hop out the cart.
Oh shit, okay. Teronicus, you leap out of the cart that uses your movement.
Can I see anything that's going on?
Roll a perception check for me.
30-20.
Yeah, you can make them out barely, but enough that you feel like you can aim confidently.
Alright, look, if it worked once, maybe it can work again. He rolls his fingers, snaps He rubs his hands, not rubs his fingers. Snaps and casts his banishment to try to get rid of the abomination.
How does the 7 do?
Yeah, that does not work at all.
You focus on the abomination, and as you do, you see the smoke begin to swirl as you just hear.
If it's from a different plane of existence, it's not coming.
As far as you know, it is gone right now.
Alright. So, we have at least a minute.
Okay, I will quickly coat some of the darts in Barbara's crossbow with my poison and then hand it back to her.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank you. I love that.
Of course.
Recommendation, we rush, I know we only have a minute, to get people out of here as quick as possible if they're
like
still
that
in their
plan.
homes and such.
So far, the fire seems to be contained to just the courthouse. And you see, as you guys are discussing this, Bearman is already inside and ushering people out.
Oh, Bearman's got it. Good.
I guess.
Go!
Jessica is going to, from her lessons that she's been reading about, she's going to be flipping through her spellbook just to kind of check her notes as she's doing it. But she is going to start casting teleportation circle, and she is going to start drawing a 10-foot diameter circle around where the abomination was.
Ah, very cool. Okay.
That is a natural 20 acrobatics check to get on top of the courthouse.
Yeah, Viper, you with ease, like a mountain lion, clutch onto the pillar and climb your way up to the top of the courthouse.
Jessica, do you know where you're going to teleport it to? Is it random or is it do you pick?
I'm picking Tamis, and I'm gonna send it somewhere it can't hurt anybody because I've already hurt everyone there. And Jessica starts sobbing as she's drawing this teleportation circle. You see her chanting, and this purple magic is emanating from her hands as she's drawing a purple line in a 10-foot diameter.
And Viper kind of calls out and is like, Tiro, I hope it doesn't come back, but also kind of hope it does, because my dagger is still in its neck, and I like that dagger.
As you say that, Jessica is finishing creating the teleportation circle. You see out of nowhere these purple runes slowly begin to almost load in where the abomination was. You see the runes complete. This circle appears as Bearman is coming out of the courthouse saying, Tiny Tim, you were the last one left. And you see this kid with his leg in a crutch coming out.
Oh, no
and
way.
as he walks out, he walks into the teleportation circle. And just gets him and Bearman both get zooted out.
You jerk.
No! Jessica, where did that lead to?
Oh no! It's okay, I still got an idea. What's the order when it comes back? Who goes first? Who's
And no,
next?
it's not coming
For
back.
what it's worth, the minute has passed and you do not see it appearing again.
Shit!
Oh, okay.
Oh, son of a biscuit.
I guess I'll just get a new dagger to my to-do list.
Let's just make sure everyone listened. We don't hear any screaming, no nothing. We're good.
There are crowds of bystanders that had run out of the courthouse and a couple of people that Bearman had thrown out. You see there are civilians helping the injured as well as picking up some of the dead bodies. There are other civilians going to a well nearby and dumping water on the fires. And you just hear all of them in unison in appreciation going,
No.
and doing bear roars.
Hey, Jessica?
Yeah.
Where is Bearman?
He's in the lovely coastal property zone of Rabbit Cove.
You mean the city that was destroyed?
Is there anything there right now that could fuck him up?
And Tiny Tim.
Has anyone seen my child? Tim!
Oh no.
Timothy!
He's with Bearman, ma'am.
He's in a better place now, man.
He's safe. He's with Bearman.
He will soon become Robin Man.
Oh my god, yeah.
Become Tim Boy.
Timothy's but 5 years old.
That's a great age for him to start. Don't worry.
Bearman has taken him to safety.
I'll level with you. If you want to be with your child Timothy, you're just gonna need to step into this little portal. He accidentally ran into it.
His new name is Bear Cub.
There's a taxi service that could take you to Rabbit Cove where your son is, if...
Rabbit coat? All I have are 2 gold to my name. Do you think that would be enough?
Is there taxi share in Brookhaven? Where you can share a taxi and split the fare?
Are you the only living relative? Is there anything else, supplies you might need for this little trip?
Sadly, my husband passed away.
Okay.
We've had no wages since his death last season.
Fuck.
Any other children that you need to look after?
No, just Tiny Tim. He is the light of my life.
Oh my god.
Okay. Do you want to go to him? Is that the...
More than anything.
Jessica's gonna take her other 5th level spell slot to cast Teleportation Circle again for this woman to go and be with Tiny Tim.
Thank you!
Well, practice makes perfect with these spells.
I'm a little slightly concerned.
And I might as well use all the 5th level spell slots I've got.
This city was kind of being protected by Bearman, and I don't know if he knows his way back from Rabbit Cove.
Oh, he's Bear Man. Of course he knows. He's got a map on him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hon, I'm not returning your fare if you still wish to.
All right. Back to the carriage. And I take the boy out of the carriage and I place him gently on the ground away from smoke. And I say, thank you so much for taking my friend. Take the 10 gold pieces I gave you and feed your brother. Take care of that wrist. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Wait, Jess, did you, since the courthouse is technically on fire, do you want to learn the sigil for here while we're here?
Oh, yeah, sure. And Jessica will take the time, and you can commit a new sigil sequence to memory after studying it for a minute. So while all, the discussion was going on about, getting this boy out, Jessica's kind of gone over, and she's got her spell book in her hand, and she's, jotting down, runes in it. Oh, very interesting. Okay.
Such fire and everything. She's, sketching out this circle.
And yeah, Jessica, you commit it to memory.
Yay!
You get in the Uber. As you begin your ride out of Brookhaven, Monique goes, okay, so I know we're headed to Opula to search for Reginald Figglesbottom, but how do we plan to actually get to him?
We're going to give him a comp ticket to see my play.
Our
Right,
play.
when do you start rehearsals for that, Thomas?
Yes. Are you sure you're still cast?
Of course I am. They wouldn't have started without the lead.
I can assure you he's still cast, but I'm pretty sure the rehearsals have already started.
We need to go ask Nacho right away.
Roll a history check for me.
I got an 18.
Okay, with the 18, you remember very well that you were adamant about making it back to town by Friday because that was when the first rehearsal was.
And what day is it now?
Is it Friday?
It's past, man.
It is the late hours between Thursday night and Friday morning.
There's still time!
We need to move now.
And with that, Monique goes, okay, so the plan is to do the rehearsals and
We
invite
send
him.
the comp ticket in the mail.
Okay, that sounds like it's going to be a Thomas and T-Row thing. What should the rest of us be doing while that's going down?
Well, perhaps, do we want to focus our efforts on getting employed at the theatre so that we can all have reasons to be there the night that Figglesbottom gets there?
You could all just come see my show and clap as a willing audience member.
Right, but there are special employee locations, that probably have security surveillance points.
Clearance.
Yes, surveillance points that only employees can access. So in order to make sure that we have access to those areas, then I think it would make sense if we were ushers or concessions people. Maybe we helped with the set building.
That could be pretty smart. We could probably cover all the exits once he's inside.
That's what I'm thinking, especially if we help, and then we can also be on the inside of the play process. So if there's anything that Thomas and Tiro need help with on their end, the rest of us could focus our efforts on getting employed at the theater so that we have a reason to be there.
Jessica, you could actually be in the show.
I thought my plan was that I was going to get hired as a Jessica impersonator for the opening night, so that way people can take photos with me.
Sure.
Yes, that was the plan. Portraits.
Okay, so Jessica is getting hired as a Jessica impersonator.
Yes.
Thomas and T-Row are in the show.
Yes.
Bob, what responsibility would you like?
I'm happy with like surveillance or anything like that.
So maybe an usher?
Sure, put me as let's get hired as an usher. Why not?
Okay, I think I would like to go the usher route with you. Viper, what would you like?
Well, I have some skill in sewing. Perhaps I could get a job as like an assistant costumer, and that could also give me the opportunity to make additions to Teronicus and Thomas's costumes, to add extra protection, and also possibly our usher uniforms, just, in case they get in trouble.
That sounds good. Kit, Richard? Well, I think I like to work with my hands. Maybe I could do like props or something, and we could make like secret items in there or something. That sounds like a job I could potentially really I'd be best suited for the director to help guide my nephew's performance.
I'm sure that position is already filled.
Yes.
I have a wonderful director, Uncle. You could never.
Richard, you could always be an assistant director.
I would never.
You know what, Jessica? For once, that is an excellent idea coming from your end. Very good.
You know what, Kit? I'm sure you have plenty of good ideas, but you could use someone guiding you in the right direction. I will be props master, and you will be assistant props producer. No?
Why don't, Richard, you could volunteer to help with the set, or you could be on the tech side,
I will be the set designer, yes.
All right.
Yes, I will surely land this job. There is no way they've hired one of those already.
Of course.
Yeah.
You could be stage manager, Uncle. That's a very prestigious position.
A manager, you say?
Yes, the stage
That's right.
manager, they make sure everyone is where they need to be, when they need to be there.
Well, this sounds like it suits my strengths just fine. Stage manager I shall be.
Perfect.
All right, I like this plan. With that, you carry on your ride towards Opula. The carriage rides along the cobblestone streets as the chaos at the court of Brookhaven fades into the distance, and the far-off silhouette of the Opal Tower grows nearer and nearer. As the cab begins to work its way off the paved roads and onto the dirt paths that lead to the city, you spot something odd off the side of the road. You see a different carriage, torn to shreds and set ablaze. Scrawled into the canvas in blood, you see the insignia of a bear with the words, "Beware the bear," as someone screams in agony. Oh, I shouldn't have been a thief and a liar and a murderer. Oh, I regret my decisions.
Nope,
Should
we're
we
not
just
getting
leave him
sidetracked
be?
with another.
Yeah,
We're gonna keep on
Just
hitting.
gonna, yeah.
He sounds very regretful, and it sounds like he deserved it. So we're just gonna.
Yeah, he's
keep on
probably
carrying
on the track.
Oh, the fire is slowly creeping towards my flesh.
I mean,
Good.
Surely
Okay.
never live to change my ways at this rate.
well, it sounds like he learned his lesson, at least, Maybe he'll make it to a better afterlife since he's, he seems remorseful.
Oh, I died once and was brought back. There is nothing beyond this.
Well, I mean, then not much we can do then.
We should at least help him.
Would you say that the fire is the size of a small campfire, perhaps?
It's much larger than that.
I am resigning to my fate, but I would like to put it on the record that I do not accept it.
Fine.
Would you say 3 small campfires together?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So, as we're passing by, Jessica will cast Prestidigitation 3 times in a row, which, if you cast the spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its non-instantaneous effects active at a time. And one of the things it talks about, you can instantaneously light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. So
Great.
Jessica will like bring up some purple magic in her hands, snap 3 times, and you see the fires go out and then the fires are all out as we pass by this other carriage.
Thank the gods. Perhaps there is redemption after all.
And as we leave it behind, I will cast Minor Illusion to make the guy see the image of a winged creature just kind of hovering over him that's looking very angelic down on him and smiling.
Don't forget to go to the TA meetings. Thievery Anonymous.
The rest of the ride is rather uneventful. Eventually, the carriage crosses the bridge into Opula. As Patrick, Gatrick, and Ratrick come to collect their toll, hey! Monique shrinks down and says, Teronicus had me. And just, drops onto the floor of the Uber.
He's on the floor. I cast Minor Illusion, so it just looks like a floor.
One of the trolls puts their eyes up to the window to inspect the cabin, and then goes, all right. The Uber driver pays the toll, and after a few more minutes, drops you off at Until Dawn Pawn. End of session.
This has been Your Honor. Your Honor features the vocal talents of T.J. Berry as Teronicus, Amanda Fernandez-Acosta as Barbara, Nicholas Palazzo as Thomas Phelps, Michael Pisani as Jessica Feltcher, and Hannah Schooner as Viper. The rest of the world is voiced by your DM, Giancarlo Herrera. Editing was done by Hannah Schooner and Giancarlo Herrera, with sound design by Giancarlo Herrera. If you want to support the show, consider checking out the links in the show notes, or go to patreon.com/Drimbus. Our patrons get access to exclusive perks like our After the Show After the Drimbus, free exclusive merch, bonus series, and the chance to create items for the show or have NPCs named after you. Oh, and don't forget to tweet using #Drimbus to be entered to win a free Dungeons & Drimbus sticker. Thank you all so much for listening, and I do declare I'll see you all next week.